Welcome to Blog Talk Radio in high fidelity.
Jimmy Mack is a renowned medical intuitive and spiritual life coach who has taken, completed, and even mastered a variety of healing modalities. After a near-death experience, he was shown and developed a simpler way to create healing and profound changes, now known as My Liquid Fish. He works with clients in person, on the phone, and over Skype worldwide, accessing energetic powers and co-creating changes that you can actually feel. Call in now to reserve your spot on the switchboard. The call-in number is 713-955-0594. Press 1 if you would like to ask Jimmy Mack a question. Enjoy this 1 hour of profound healing.
Hey guys, it's Jimmy Mack coming to you live with the Jimmy Mack Healing Show. We're happy to have everybody on the line right now, and we're in the beautiful Tampa Bay area of Florida. So the weather's fantastic. Obviously, we're charging headlong into spring as early as Valentine's Day. I love it. As a lifelong Floridian, I've never seen it come this early, so it is what it is, but we're glad everybody's here. Certainly get on the phone lines now. If you're listening to this on the web, the phone number is 713-955-0594. You need to press 1 if you want to get a question in. A lot of great stuff coming up. Gosh, great shows every week here, of course. We have different people on that co-host, co-guest with me. And so they all bring their own skill set and excitement to the show. So we're excited about that. And everything is going really, really good. So keep the faith on all that. We also have an audio MP3 that's going to come out about spring, maybe a little bit sooner. We'll see. It's called The Good Good. How funny is that? So it's all about getting out of stuckedness, overwhelm, anger, resentment, fear, chaos, drama, mystery, intrigue, and upset, and bringing it more in line with joy, balance, grounding, that sort of thing. It's about a half hour long. So it should be pretty good and very helpful for everybody else. A lot of good stuff coming up, so it's all good. If you are not already on our email address, if we don't have your email address, you definitely want to email us, info@jimmymackhealing.com. We send out one TGI Wednesday, obviously every week on Wednesday. And in that, everything is free. There's audio, there's video, there's inspiration, information, affirmations, comics, a little bit of everything. So it's all good, and by all means, get on that mail list if you're not already. Just for signing up, we send out a bunch of audio MP3s, ebooks, radio shows, video, things that will really inspire, affirm, and help you and contribute to you and your life. So definitely get on that if you're not already, and all of it's free, folks. So it's well worth it. Today's co-host and guest with me, I'm excited to have her on again. She's been on the show before, and she's somewhat of a neighbor of mine. She's in the Pinellas County area of Florida, and her name is LouAnn Saphos. And LouAnn is a Reiki Master, of course, who completed Matrix Energetic certification, same as me. In fact, we were out in the Seattle area together. Richard Bartlett of Matrix Energetics only did that like once or twice a year, I think it was. So she hammered on through that and was a trooper, of course, because it's not easy, and she and I both ended up doing that. She also does, of course, practicing Theta Healing, and she's now an instructor in Theta Healing on a bunch of different levels, and I know she's spent time with Deanna Stiebel as well, who's the founder of Theta Healing. It's one of my favorite modalities, techniques, technologies, if you will, that really can create profound change. She has a private practice in Tarpon Springs, Florida, and you can reach out at thehealinghasbegun.com. That's T-H-E, healing, H-A-S, healinghabegun.com. Hey, LouAnn, how are you today?
Hey, Jimmy, I'm great. How are you?
Good. Good, love. Happy to hear your voice. I know we correspond and text and email on occasion, but we're thrilled to have you back on the show, and we're just all about changing things up, just like you, for folks. So, obviously, how to get in touch with you, the best email address or Facebook, your phone number, that sort of thing, when you've got some classes and things coming up.
Okay, so you already mentioned my website, which again is thehealinghasbegun.com. I also have a Facebook page under that same title.
Okay.
Phone number for me is 727-686-0895. And there's a link on my website for emailing, so that's probably the easiest way. But
Excellent.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be with you again.
Yeah, you and I always have fun. It's all good. Let folks know just the briefest fingernail clipping, as my mother would say, about Theta Healing and also courses you might have coming up.
Okay, so thumbnail on Theta Healing is actually, it's the fastest growing energy healing modality on the planet. So that's pretty cool. It's in 153 different countries, millions of practitioners, and really growing widely throughout Europe and the Asian world, down into Australia, New Zealand. So it's exciting to be part of such a big worldwide group of people who are on board with healing and energy and really wanting to see planetary change. The courses that I teach, again, those are listed on my website. I teach 12 different courses in Theta Healing.
Wow.
Upcoming.
That's a lot.
Yeah. I teach the basic classes where everybody pretty much starts, basic DNA. Then they move on to the advanced DNA class, which Vianna, the founder, actually calls Heal or Heal Thyself. So it's a lot of downloads and just a lot of shifting of beliefs and feelings, bringing one into their own, healing dynamic. Upcoming, I do have those courses, and I'm also teaching in April a 3-week intuitive anatomy course, which is, it's 3 weeks. It's 15 days of very intense training to be a medical intuitive. I have people coming from other countries for that. So, that's a lot of fun. And then I had the opportunity just a few weeks ago to actually be in Mexico with Vianna Steibel, the founder of Theta Healing, taking some more instructor certifications on a course called Dig Deeper.
Love that. Really it's all about the digging, that's for sure.
Yeah, digging into the patterns, the emotions, the feelings, the things that keep people stuck, and learning what they can from why they've brought them into their lives in the first place, and being able to move forward in a higher and better way that serves them.
Love it. Well said. Very succinct and concise. I love it. And, it was one of the first things I started out in back in the day, years and years ago. And still to this day, I have mad respect for it. And I think it's really, really a great, out of everything I've taken, that's probably the thing. If you're, middle somewhere, wherever, and you told me, hey, I got these 5 choices, I would side with Theta Healing all day long as far as speed and depth and that sort of thing. So really, really cool. Yeah. That's exciting stuff. Awesome. Hey, let's grab a caller and spend a couple minutes each on them. 818's our first caller. Hi, Carolyn, California. We know you.
Hi.
Hey.
Thank you for taking my call. Yes. Hi. I wanted to ask both of you. I know I have a thyroid problem. I have a thyroid doctor, but I'm not on any medicine, and my test results show that it's okay. But I am cold all the time. I've always been cold. I'm 68 years old, and I've been cold every day of my life. I just need it to be balanced so that I won't be cold. Is there anything we could do?
Well, I'll let LouAnn chat with you for a few minutes, and then I'll take a run at it, honey. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so the doctors have told you your thyroid's fine, but you're still cold. So one of the things that comes up for me when people are cold is actually a condition called Raynaud's syndrome. And
what? What kind
I
of
don't know if they've
temperature?
spoken to you at all about that, but the idea of being cold, is uncomfortable. And so what do we do to bring comfort into your life and to have that feeling of really what I'm seeing for you is having the arms of angels just wrapped around you and giving you warmth and comfort and the feeling that you are supported. And, woo, yeah, I just feel that energy of angels' wings just surrounding you and encompassing you and giving you that feeling of that you can surrender into those arms and be supported and be warmed and comfortable.
Okay. Okay, supportive. Okay.
Love that. Love that. Spot on. Yeah, my mother has that too. What's the name of it, LouAnn?
Raynaud syndrome. It usually
Raynaud?
goes to the extremities, to the hands and the feet.
Yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah, I know what you're referring to.
You said read
Carolyn,
down.
what I would do, LouAnn and I both took Matrix Energetics practitioner training, and Dr. Garcia was out at that talking to us, and he is, out of San Diego, California. He specializes in cancer, but he would say to us in the group, and this is many, many years ago, LouAnn was with me there for that, and he just said, hey, 70% of all disease is thyroid, and it's the thermostat of the house. So your thyroid, clinically, it'd almost have to be dead for them to have things show up, T3, T4, T7, TSH, that sort of thing on lab tests. It has to be really, really bad to show up. One of the prescriptions you could get and consider at some point is instead of Synthroid, I would go with Armor Thyroid. It's made out of pigs instead of in the lab. That's one choice. Sea kelp shows up for you. You can go to, just email me and I'll send you a link to look at sea kelp. That's iodine. That's a real booster, I believe, for thyroid. You can take as many as 2 of those about 3 times a day, they're saying. And then the other interesting thing for everybody that helps is a product called Indium. It is number 49 in the elemental chart. So elemental chart has to do with chemistry, boron, gold, silver, metal, platinum, whatever. And it's number 49, and it's a mineral. Generally, we're deficient in that if our thyroid's off. And so if you email me, info@jimmymackhealing.com, I'll send you links for that. I don't sell product, but I certainly would encourage you to research it. But it's called Indium XL, and all you do is put a drop. It tastes like a penny. It's very brass tasting, like you're sucking on a penny, but it's worth it, and I believe that would change things. It also helps with glands. It thickens your hair, your fingernails, that sort of thing. You want to stand up for a minute, and let's just see how weak your thyroid is. Face due north. Yeah.
Okay.
You can just say that. I feel cold in my extremities, and my thyroid's weak, and that's going to pull you forward to yes.
Okay. I feel... what? I forgot what you said. What did
All right,
you say,
I've already said it. They heard me, and it's going to pull you forward.
Okay, wait a minute. No, it pulled me back, so let me...
Yep.
Okay.
If you just stand up, face north, pull you forward. It's going forward. So we're going to release it, resolve it, delete and erase it, disentangle it all out now, pull her straight back when you're done. We're just taking out cold in the extremities, and we're just taking all that out and balancing thyroid. We're asking Spirit to do it for us. Okay?
Right. Okay. I went back.
Awesome. Yeah, we're glad you called, honey. Thank you, and thanks for listening to the show.
Oh, thanks for answering my questions. Give me some help.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, hope we both helped you. That's fantastic. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Do you
I'm
find
excited.
Yep. Thanks. Bye-bye. LouAnn, do you find, too, a lot of folks have thyroid issues that may come see you?
Yes. Yes. And, obviously a lot of weight gain, obesity is attached to that.
There you go. Yeah.
And you're absolutely correct. Doctors have a very difficult time diagnosing a lot of times what's going on with these folks.
Right. Yeah. And again, folks, we're the furthest thing from diagnosing or treating illness, disease, or disorder. We look at things from a spiritual perspective. I always tell people I'm talking to angels flying UFOs. So, but energetically, if Western medicine can't figure it out, I guess you and I were both there when Dr. Garcia said, hey, if you got something hanging off your elbow, don't come see me, go get it cut off. Everybody laughed, but it's true. I tell everybody, if you're a woman and you break water, don't come to my house. You break your arm, go to the hospital, and
Exactly.
but if you've been to 5 different doctors and they're shrugging their shoulders and you've tried 5 different meds and nothing's working, boy, you need to reach out to us, and at least we can see what it is. And it could be 5 steps away, weird, emotional, mental, physical, spiritual, God only knows what, that's hanging you up. So I know you'd find that in your practice too. So awesome.
Exactly.
Yeah, 727. Go ahead.
Our body speaks our truth, is what I find.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's so tied in a lot of times emotional, mental. It could be, as you know, the soul level, DNA level, history, past lives, and so many different other weird levels. It's amazing. So what we can get into, it's things you would never be aware of. So, or being whatever. Yes. Awesome. Yeah. 727 is our next caller. Hi, Kathy. How are you?
Well, hi, Jimmy Mack. You are the best, and thank you so much for all you've ever done.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, yeah, you have a question for LouAnn? She's local and great, too.
I do have a question for LouAnn. I have these glimmers of hope of getting unstuck with things, and just financially and house-wise, I've been waiting almost 3 weeks for an apartment to be ready. I've been waiting for a month for this project to come to fruition, and it's next week, and it's really been a challenge. I've moved 8 times since Thanksgiving, so I'm exhausted.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's the situation, and things, a number of things really fell through that were supposed to be solid and just went whoosh right before me. So what's going on?
Okay, so what I see a lot of people that feel stuck, and what I really tend to focus on in my practice, first of all, is what are we learning from these patterns? Because you see a pattern of moving 8 times since Thanksgiving, which for any of us would be very stressful, right?
Yeah.
But what are you learning through this process? And have you met certain people during this that perhaps are part of your future, or that you had to go through this in order to move forward?
A 6-year relationship ended Thanksgiving. I moved out of my boyfriend's home, and it was very positive, though. The relationship had run its course for both of us. It wasn't on a hateful level. It was on a necessary level. So I'm grateful for that, and I really felt that would unstick me in a lot of ways, and that hasn't quite been the case. There have been some great miracles and some great frustrations.
What is it that you are wanting to create?
I'm wanting to create my new company with some technology that will change the environmental industry drastically.
Okay. And how would it make you feel to be successful in this new endeavor and new company?
Well, it will be fantastic to have that moving forward and be able to offer people another choice that can make sense environmentally and economically.
Mm-hmm. And how will it make you feel?
Well, it'll make me feel like I'm serving my purpose here.
Mm-hmm.
Joyful.
Joyful?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So what would have to happen for you to be serving and feeling joyful?
Well, I feel I am doing those things right now in a different way than having my own company. Just how would you say, overturning the stones in different ways to make that happen, to attract that into my life.
Okay. So would you like to know what it feels like that you're ready, willing, and able to begin to overturn those stones that may feel like stuck stones and make them be rolling stones?
Yes, financially as well as this move. Yes.
Okay.
I'm already going forward. I'm facing north.
Yeah, and where are you feeling that in your body?
My neck, my shoulders. The weight of the world's on me right now.
Exactly. So you bring it all in. You're ready, willing, and able to turn in directions that serve you, that you're able to see which path to take, and all the specific details that will guide you to that being able to serve and feel joyful in this new company and new venture that you're creating. Woo!
Yeah.
You feel that?
Yes. Yes, I felt very hot. Yes. Like almost dizzy. Going forward.
Circulate. Beautiful. You brought that in really well. Congratulations.
Love it.
Thank you. Thank you very
We'll
much.
see what happens. We'll see what happens now, Kathy. But when you talk about moving that many times and that many things going on, all I pick up on is indecision and uncertainty, and but more than anything else, it's indecision. So if you're just standing up right now, I would just even make the statement: my whole life's filled with indecision is going to pull you forward.
My whole life's filled with indecision. Yep, it pulled me forward.
We're going to release that. We're going to release that and uncertainty on levels known, unknown, named, and unnamed. It's going to pull you straight back when it leaves.
Yes, I'm almost falling over. Yep.
Bring you back to neutral once it's
Boy, it's pushing me forward, like throwing me around.
Yeah, it's going to bring all that out.
Makes me feel almost nauseous. Wow.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. Indecision would make anybody feel that nauseous, and not knowing what's going on. I always joke I'd rather know the worst or the best, but not knowing will really keep you, upside down. So that's going to pull you straight back when that leaves.
Yes, it's pulling me straight back. I'm almost falling over. Yes.
Good. And it'll drop you back to neutrality once it's done, honey. Awesome. We'll see what happens now. You just got to be super proactive. I've told more than one person, don't hang out there and wait for everybody else, because a lot of times they will hugely disappoint us, and then we feel down because they let us down. So you have to be super proactive and really work on whatever it is you're working on project-wise to get it done, whether it's a business plan or connection with other people or financing or whatever it may be. You just have to go after it like, your life depends on it. Okay.
Well, I have been doing that. So, thank you very, very much, Jimmy Mack. As
you're
always,
welcome. Thanks for listening.
Thank you, LouAnn. Thanks so much.
You are more than welcome. Keep kicking those rolling stones.
I will. Thank you so much. Okay. Bye now.
Well said. Hey, our next caller's across the pond. Hi, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, I'm Anshul.
Hi, what did you say your name is?
Anshul.
Okay, what is your question?
It's
Where
Anshul.
Calling from?
Calling from India.
Okay, and what is your question? You have a question for LouAnn?
My question is that I experience neck pain quite often, though it's nothing medically there. I got it checked also. But it keeps occurring time and again, and I feel stiffness in my neck.
Okay.
When did this begin? When did you first notice this?
I think it's about 2.5 to 3 years.
Okay, and what was happening in your life 2.5 to 3 years ago?
I had just shifted my workplace, took up a new job.
Oh, a new job. Okay. And
Yeah.
what's going on with the new job? How is that working for you?
It didn't go that well, and so I had to shift again after some time, after 2.5 years.
Okay. So are you familiar with the muscle testing that Jimmy does on his show? That you can stand and face north and get a yes
No,
or no
I have.
answer? You're not familiar with that?
That I know. I am
Okay.
familiar with
Well,
muscle testing.
so what I'm really picking up for you is an inflexibility and surrounding the job. So how does it make you feel to be in your new job?
This is also not making me feel good. I mean, I want to
Right.
move into a different career, but I'm kind of stuck due to financial situation.
Exactly. See, there's that stuck feeling again. So would you like to know what it feels to like to release inflexibility, especially surrounding your job? And would you like to know what it feels like to bring in and be downloaded with what it feels like to be flexible, even while having this job?
Yes.
Okay, and so what's really coming up for me is, would you like to know what it feels like to respect your, what might be your boss or the seniority person in your position, in your job?
Yes.
Would you like to know what it feels like to honor and respect that person, even though you may disagree with them? And would you like to be in gratitude for your job and for the income that it brings to you?
Yes.
And would you like to know that when you are ready, willing, and able, you may shift into a different position?
Yeah.
And it's the sense of flexibility that will allow you to move forward in this new position. And what I'm sensing here is bring you even greater income and greater satisfaction.
Yeah.
And can you move your neck from side to side for me?
Yeah.
Yeah, and how does that feel now?
At this moment, I'm not feeling it.
I'm sorry, you're not feeling what?
I'm not feeling stiffness in my neck at this moment.
Good, good. So would you like to know what it feels like to carry that forward in your day-to-day life, what it feels like to live without feeling stuckness, or inflexibility?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, that feels really good. So we know that if you are able to bring in that feeling of, being very flexible and not feeling stuck, you've created it once, and now you can create it again and again.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, it
Hey,
does.
what I pick up on is a couple different things too. First off, Reverend Tiffany is IMing me on Skype. She's our producer and very intuitive as well. And she spoke of the stress of what you think that others feel you should do business-wise. So we're just going to release that off of you, and kind of you're doing what everybody else says you should do, and I'm releasing that. Also, people with neck issues show up to me as oxen yoke. So it feels like you're wearing the oxen yoke and trying to plow through the field of rocks. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like it feels like drudgery, in other words. It's not anything you're loving or wanting to do. But I would say to you always that, and I'm releasing that too, I would always say, though, that, straight up, that really, our lives are outside of work generally. And so if you enjoy gardening, yoga, tai chi, qigong, whatever it is outside of that, cricket, doesn't matter. That's really a huge part of what your life should be. Work can just be something that keeps the lights on, the water running, that sort of thing. Not everybody's just enamored by what they're doing. Doesn't mean you can't be, but for now, it's not for forever. You're going to wind up in another job. They're just whispering in my ear in the next 90 days. You're at least going to be given another offer, something along the lines of more what you might enjoy. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does make sense.
Yeah, and I'm just telling you what they whisper in my ear.
Thanks a lot.
About 90 days out, you're going to have another offer, and that's something that you're really going to enjoy. So I would encourage you to, just get through this time right now. I'm sure you're doing some computer work as well, because my neck's bothering me talking to you a little bit, and that's always throwing out our atlas is leaning forward and, it's staying in stuck positions for too long a period of time. So I tell folks you want to probably be at the computer 15, 20 minutes and then get up and walk around a little bit, do something different. And oftentimes we'll go just get a glass of water and walk around, and we have that eureka moment of, something that would be a solution to a problem that's been bothering us, even online or with correspondence or whatever the missing link might be. Okay?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Just to let you know, you only got about 90 days left of all this, by the way, and so, things are going to vastly improve in the next 90 days. So we appreciate you listening from all the way across the world there, and appreciate you calling into the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks for your time, too. You're welcome. Thanks for calling. 740 is our next caller. Hi, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Marnita, and I'm calling from Ohio.
Hi, Marita. You have a question for LouAnn?
Well, I'm an energy worker, and I'm helping my brother-in-law move out of my mother-in-law's house, which he has never done his entire life. He's over 58. And
oh, wow.
Every time I walk into the house, since she has passed, well, no, it wasn't since she passed, because she passed a year and a half ago, and I've been there since then. But for this past probably, I'd say 2 months that I've gone into the house, I feel a really bad pain in the back of my head, at the base of my head, base of my skull. And I've done clearings, I've protected myself, and the only time it happens is when I go into the house. And I was wondering if there's something else I could do to protect myself and to clear the house of whatever this energy is.
Okay, what are you getting on that, Jimmy?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was going to let you take a stab at it, but definitely it isn't you, it's the house, by the way, so we can clear the house out really quick. You want to stand up, face due north. Anybody has a pendulum, we can use that. If you knew how to muscle test with your fingers, we'd use that. You want to stand up, face due north, strong mountain pose in yoga, have your feet about hip width apart, okay? So, I get that you're pretty clear. You still have bouts of unclear, and I'm releasing that. And running forward is no, and I'm going to change it to yes. So we're just changing things really, really fast on the fly. But if you think of that house right now, is it tests as clear? It tests as clear, but it also tests as unclear. And that's really, really, really exotic stuff outside of the normal realm of curses, spells, and hexes, and a long litany of things that are horrible negative energy. And so when I say the place you're walking into is unclear, it's going to pull you forward. And we're just finding that spot where that place is.
Okay.
And all I'm going to do is release it, resolve it, delete and erase it, disentangle it all out now. We're just going to send out into the void whatever is haunting the place. You're just picking up on it intuitively. It almost feels like a probe kind of thing. It's alien-ish, if you will, leftover from the passing, that sort of thing. It's going to pull you back when it leaves. There you go. So we'll see what happens now, love.
you.
You're welcome to reach out to me. Yeah, it's info@jimmymackhealing.com. I can send you some free, simple tools that would go a long way to help you. And gosh, LouAnn and I both love anybody that's in the healing industry or profession, if you will, because we want to empower and help you so you can help that many more people and contribute to them. Okay?
And that's what I'm trying to do, is help as many as I can.
I love it.
So a lot
That's
of times,
great.
as energy workers, a lot of times we come into the path of these, spiritual energies. And what I really try to teach people is it is our birthright. We have the power, right, to command that stuff to be gone and to create that we're impervious to it, right? So impervious is
and
like...
that's what I was doing. I was working with the white light and protecting myself. And when I walk into the house, it feels very dense. But then as soon as I do the white light through the house, it feels so much lighter. But doing the physical labor of packing him up to move and going through her things, it's like I don't know if I'm letting my guard down or what's happening, but I get this really bad pain in the back of my head.
Yeah, so just create like a bubble of white light all around you, that you're impervious to these energies and that you're protected and you're safe and you're just filled with light. And anything that is not of light just bounces off.
Okay. Cool. Thank you so much.
All right, honey.
Welcome.
Thanks for your call. We appreciate it. Yeah. Hey, before we take our next caller, LouAnn, tell folks how to get a hold of you again, honey, and the website and your email address or phone number.
Okay, so my website is thehealinghasbegun.com. There is a link there to call me or email me, but my phone number is 727-686-0895. And there's a full listing of the classes that I teach there on the website, descriptions of the various classes. I also have a very healing retreat space here in Florida that people come to and travel to from other parts of the United States and even from other countries. They come and stay with me and heal.
Love it. Yeah, that's fantastic, love. And all that stuff's reasonably priced, too, considering, folks. So I would urge you to check it all out. It's really powerful change movement. It's well worth your time and energy and money. 803 is our next caller. Hi, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name is Julia. I'm calling from South Carolina.
Hey, Julia, you have a question for LouAnn?
Yes, I do. LouAnn, I'm a landlord that have about 4 properties. And what I see happening is what is happening more in my life personally. As regard to my tenants, I can't keep tenants. I get the wrong tenants in there. And I also see that happening in my personal relationships as far as keeping a man in my life or attracting the wrong man. And I'm just wondering what can be done about, I guess I'm worried about the tenant situation now since that is most pressing.
Okay, so again, my take on a lot of these things that shows up in our lives is, what are we learning from it? Because, you hear the old adage of everything happens for a reason, there are no mistakes. And so the faster that we can really learn from these experiences that show up in our lives is the faster that we get to release them and be finished with them and move forward with the nugget of truth that they were meant to bring us in the first place. So if you're having the wrong tenants, the wrong, relationship coming into your life, what are you really learning from that is what gets my interest. So we can learn very quickly from these tenants. What do they bring to you? What do you realize as a part of having them into your life?
Oh, man, that's a good... the first thing that came to my mind while you were talking is that I don't trust.
Okay, trust is huge. There's a homomorphic field of trust and untrust over humankind. And so that takes me into the pattern of, when was the first time you learned that it wasn't safe to trust?
Oh, I know that. As a small child. I never felt safe.
Okay. So, what does it feel like for you to be safe? What makes you feel safe?
Wow. I'm trying to even think of a time where I just really felt totally safe. I think I'm only feeling a measure of safety is when I can do things on my own and don't have to depend on anyone.
Mhm. So do you see how that pattern would keep what you might term the right people out of your life if you have to do it all yourself?
I do now that you say that.
All right.
But I don't know how to get over that.
Would you like to release that pattern? We're going to invoke source energy into doing a major work here on this. Would you like to release having to do it all yourself?
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
You know that it's possible and safe to trust others to assist you.
Okay.
Would you like to know what it feels like to move forward in your day-to-day life, trusting, knowing that it's safe?
Yes. Yes.
And would you like to know what it feels like to flow people into your life who are trustworthy?
Yes.
So this is like manifesting. You know, you become aligned with trusting and bringing flowing, trustworthy people into your life, and then you become a vibrational match for that energy, and that it really is an energy. It's a vibrational frequency. So as you become trusting, you are able to invoke and flow people into your life and situations into your life that you can trust. So you ever hear everything is an inside job? So make your focus be on moving into those patterns where you learn to not trust, and knowing that the universe supports you and creates trust. And as you become a vibrational match for trust, you will begin to see trustworthiness showing up in your life.
Okay.
Makes sense?
And you'll have tenants and relationships that you can trust in.
Okay. Okay.
Love it. Love it. Well said. Well said. Honey, you want to stand up? I'll have you feel the energy real quick, and we'll see about changing things. It does feel like your picker is broken when it comes to men and tenants and the rest of it, if you will. Almost your internal guidance system, your compass, if you will. I'm sure you felt like that from time to time about your picker being broken, like you're picking perhaps the wrong tenants, if you will, and the wrong man, that sort of thing. So if you're standing up now, so if you're standing up right now facing due north, that's going to pull you forward for a yes. You're going to feel a drift forward.
Okay.
And we're going to release it, delete and erase it, disentangle it all out now. Pull her straight back when you're done and release all that.
Okay, I have.
There you go. Yeah. And so we're going to give you an awesome new picker, so with guidance, grounding, safe and comfortable to be yourself, to speak up and ask for what you want, and to have the universe show up in a more positive way in your life, and that's going to pull you forward when it comes in. I just did it. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy weird. I do it all day long, honey. So, fantastic. Let's see what happens now, though, okay? Reach out to us anytime we can help you. We appreciate you listening to the show, and we appreciate you calling in, too.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much. I love the Carolinas. It's beautiful there, and the people are nice. So, what a dream. What a dream. Yeah, thanks for calling in, honey. Have a great day. 916 is our next caller. Hi, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, hi, my name's Frank. I'm actually living in Texas now.
Hi, Frank.
In San Antonio.
You have a question for LouAnn?
Yeah, you know, I think one of the issues that I'm having is I try to stay positive as I can. And for example, just recently we started about 8 months ago. We started a nonprofit organization, and I find my energy my positive energy is wane. It's not what it was before, and I think I feel like I'm being what's the word? Like I'm not making any progress with it. Although I feel like it's a great cause that we help child burn victims from other countries get here and get treatment, and I've already helped some on my own, but I pay out of my own pocket. And it's kind of just becoming, the more I try, the more it seems like nobody really cares. And so I don't want to go negative. I don't want to be negative. I want to be as positive as possible. And sometimes I can't help but feel that negativity, and I don't want to attract the wrong people.
So this sounds like an absolutely fantastic venture that you're involved in. How did you begin this, and where did the idea come from?
I'm half Scotch-Irish and half Colombian. So it was a cousin that was visiting from Colombia who just happened to call me and say she wanted to see me, and I said, "Oh, let's meet up." So I flew her up to where I was, which was Northern California, and she happened to tell me that her son had been burned. Her 7-year-old son. He received he's third-degree burns over 35% of his body, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, why didn't I hear about this?" And kind of long story short, I flew down there within a week. I flew down to Colombia. I got to visit the child, and decided, there's something I can do. We can do something. So I flew back and ended up hooking up with Shriners out of Sacramento, and they have a international department in Shriners. And what they'll do, like Shriners Hospital, will take care of any child in North America. And pay for all hospital bills, pay for their lodging, pay for food, pay for everything. But if you're outside of North America, they will provide the service free of charge, the surgery, which is huge. I mean, a huge cost, and they do an amazing job. But they won't, they won't pay for lodging, they won't pay for airfare, they won't pay for any of that. It's for them to get their passports, visas. So that's what I do. That's where I decided, I was like, oh, there's a great need here, and people from Shriners are super awesome, and they're willing to help. So I decided to do that, and I brought he's actually my second cousin. He came over here, and he got his surgery done. He's back in Colombia. I have, 8 more kids lined up. I went back a second time to visit the burn center, and I saw a great need, and I've reached out to, these big corporate companies, Pfizer, and I mean, you name them, to even ask for donations for technology, because they don't even have the basics of technology. They do skin grafts using their hand, like a razor blade in their hand, and that's how they take the skin off a child. And like here, we have machinery that does it.
Yeah, so I mean, right now I'm actually sensing that there are people hearing you right now that you're going to hear from, that are going to assist you in this. And, what you're focused on is the alleviating human suffering, and there's such a great call for that, in the world. And so what you're doing is magnanimous and awesome. And really, I'm seeing surrendering, a surrendering that it's not so much you and your project, is that it is a project for, the world, and that it is flowing through you, and that you have to surrender into this process of just allowing, right? Because the more we tend to take a project on ourselves and make it our own, we can sometimes get into this stuck pattern. But if you can just throw your arms open wide and feel as though you're falling back, surrendering to the universe and saying, if this is meant to be, let it be, you're going to find people showing up in your life that are just going to take the work and be that piece of the puzzle to begin to move this forward, because it's going to be very successful.
I hope so. I have a lot of children that are in need right now. A lot of them.
Okay, so would you like to know what it feels like to allow this project to flow through you, and that it will be a great blessing to many?
Yes. Yes.
And would you like to know that you're ready, willing, and able to move forward with this now?
Yes.
And that the universe is supporting you?
Yes.
Okay, where are you feeling that in your body? Yeah, so the back, the skeletal system is all about support. And I would just encourage you to do that process of literally throwing your arms open wide, as far as they can go, and envision yourself just falling into the energy of the universe that is creating this project through you, because it's happening.
Okay, will do.
Woo.
Makes sense?
That
Yeah,
feels
Frank.
really great.
It's a great
Okay,
message.
awesome.
We got to get out. We got to get out of the Frank nonprofit and be more of the nonprofit, right? So when you check in with Baxter and all these major Lilly and whoever healthcare people, I would definitely get with Shriners. I'd figure out who their biggest contributors were. Hell, you can find that online. And I'd be running, right after them and going, hey, I'm working with Shriners. That would be the first thing out of my mouth. And, the people, what they're showing me or telling me is everything to do with servicing burn victims, whether it's the gauze supplier or the surgical people or whatever the supplies are for that. And it can be Stryker, Baxter. I'm sure there's a list of the top 10. Those are the folks you're going to want to follow up with. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I've reached out to those people and still waiting to hear back from a lot of them, but we'll see.
Yeah,
What comes of this.
Like I said, your opening and closing line will be, I'm working with Shriners, period. And, I have a nonprofit for burn victims, bringing them into the country, et cetera, just as short and sweet as possible. They get hammered all the time for solicitations, but if you start your letter with, I'm working with Shriners Hospital, it's going to go a long way to have them read yours over all others, okay? But I feel really good about it, too. And the next 30, 60, 90, 120 days, you're about 4 months out from getting some bigger donors and bigger subscribers to the whole program, okay?
Awesome. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for calling in. We appreciate you being open
You're
into the
welcome.
energy work of the universe, and we're going to send you more than our thoughts and prayers for it to really increase, okay?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah, thanks for even doing that. That's a dream. 914 is our final caller. Hi, what's your name? Where are you calling from? (914), are you there?
Hello?
Okay. Hi, what's your
Hello?
name? Where are you calling from? Hi.
Hi, my name is Catherine, and I'm calling from New York.
Okay, what'd you say your name was, honey? It's very faint.
Catherine?
Catherine. Okay, Catherine from New York. You have a question for LouAnn?
Yes. The last 2 days I've had like a pain in my lower back, and that's very I'm very, very rare. I never really get that at all. And I was wondering what you might ascribe it to, if it's sometimes like it's a burden, I've heard, or it was very odd. A lady whose husband was a chiropractor, the day before this happened, visited my house. So, I don't know if that's connected. Okay, so, there's a lot of people show up with lower back pain, and we understand energetically that it really does go to support. It's interesting, even a little humorous to me, that you had a chiropractor who works with back pain in your home, and then you began to have these symptoms, because as Jimmy and I learned through our energy work, there are morphic fields of, things like back pain and belief in back pain and belief in a lack of support and these kinds of things. So what you can do really is come to the understanding of the beliefs that are attached to this. See, so we can release beliefs surrounding a lack of support or feeling unsupported, and bring in what it feels like to be fully supported, that you can be only supported, and you know how to move forward in your day-to-day life with support, and releasing any belief that you are learning anything through back pain or feeling unsupported. So much of this is reframing our belief systems about these morphic fields of belief around support, around stress. There's interesting studies have been recently done about stress. So we think that stress is, really, really bad for the human body. And yet what we're finding through scientific studies is that it's actually the belief that stress is harmful to the body that causes people to succumb to stress and to die. It's not the stress itself. It's the belief that stress is bad for the body that causes it to impact the body in a negative way and, in fact, end in mortality. So people can live with stressors, and as long as they're framing those stressors as helpful or productive, they tend to move forward productively in life without having pain, without dying from stress, heart disease, etc. But when we have a belief that something is really bad for us in our body, it tends to show up and play out exactly that way. So that's really what I'm getting for you, is this has been introduced to you as a little wake up for you to just know that, what do you believe? And that you're the only one who gets to choose your beliefs. And everyone does. Right. So it's a way to feel very empowered and supported when we know that we are the ones who get to choose our beliefs and the frequency that we will align ourselves with and manifest into our lives.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Love it. Makes sense?
Really powerful, yes.
Awesome. We're going to see you getting better and better, honey. It's definitely about support. It's generally about money, too. You show up as really sensitive and picking up on everybody else's stuff, which we all do from time to time. And like LouAnn said, it's no coincidence that at a chiropractor or the wife of a chiropractor showing up and then you're picking up on back pain. So it's very interesting. But let's see what happens now, okay? Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you both
Thank
very
you.
much.
Yeah, thanks for your call, honey. Appreciate you listening. Thanks again. You bet. I see that Reverend Debbie Dean Spear is also one of our listeners. We love you, Reverend Debbie. She's on our show, LouAnn, the last Tuesday of every month, Communication with the Dead, or she would call it Communication with the Living in Heaven. So thanks for everybody being on the show today and listening. LouAnn, tell folks one more time how to get a hold of you, honey, so that they could take the courses or get a session from you.
Okay, great. Well, let me just thank you, Jimmy, for inviting me to be on your show. And I've been a supporter of your work since I met you back in 2011. I love what you do. And my website, again, is at www.thehealinghasbegun.com.
Very well said. Thanks again for being on the show, honey. We really appreciate it. And thanks for being a contribution to all those looking for change and healing. We all need it now more than ever. Folks, that's our show for today. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening. You can always find us also on Blog Talk Radio and then again on Spreaker and iHeart. We're all over the place. So reach out anytime we can help y'all. And I really want to wish everybody that the rest of your life will be the best of your life. And remember to make progress every day. Thanks, everybody. Take care. We love you. Bye-bye.
You bring your phone everywhere. Work, school, the movies. Now you can bring it to an Xfinity store for an easy way to switch to Xfinity Mobile, a new kind of network designed to save you money. You can get up to 5 lines of talk and text included with Xfinity Internet at no extra cost, so all you pay for is data. It's never been easier to switch to Xfinity Mobile and keep the phone you love. Click here to see how. Sorry, I gotta take this. Restrictions apply. Limited to select mobile phones. Requires activation of a new line of Xfinity Mobile. Up to 5 devices per account. New Xfinity Internet customers limited to up to 2 lines pending activation of Internet service.